I have to make this video just because it's so ridiculous. And it's a great example of the kind of things that we will sometimes get fixated on and think about that just are stupid. Repeat ourselves up about. So I was at Pinewood Derby today with the kids, and my dad was getting a hot dog to support. You know, it's a fundraiser for them. They sell food, and it's all kind of junky food. It is what it is. And I was like, you know what? I feel like getting a hot dog. This is definitely an old story that I've enjoyed in the past, and I really don't eat meat like at all anymore. I wouldn't say I'm a vegetarian or a vegan, but I just don't. I really don't eat it very often. And then a hot dog, especially, is you know what a hot dog is. We don't need to get into what a hot dog is. Um, it's a lot of suffering, and it's just not the best choice if you're going to eat meat. Maybe you're the worst. But anyway, whatever. Like, I decided to have this hot dog, and then in the car later, I wasn't feeling that great, and I'm sick anyway. So there's plenty of reasons for me not to feel great. But of course, I'm like, oh my gosh, I ate this hot dog. I'm not well. It's the last thing I ate, right? All this judgment of myself, all this bull coming up as I'm driving and thinking about this thing that I did. And at the time, I just ate it, and I was like, whatever, this is fun. I put mustard and some really crappy sauerkraut from a package on it that had like yellow 5 and other horrible junk in it, of course, right? Um, and again, it's like whatever. It's not a big deal. The truth of it is, it's not a big deal. So I felt for a moment like I judged myself for a moment, like this is shouldn't have done that. James shouldn't have ate that hot dog with all that crap on it. And the bun, my mind can just go on and on about all the things that were wrong with this thing that I did, right? Um, and it's interesting because if you look at human design, if you have an open head center, one of the not self things that comes up is thinking about things that don't matter. And I think a lot of us have open head centers, and we do this a lot. So there's open centers and there's defined centers. And defined centers are kind of those areas that are really core about you. They're not subject to conditioning from external influences, and so you don't have you do have not self stuff that comes up, but it's not the same as with open centers. If you look into human design, it'll make more sense. But essentially, the open centers are really subject to conditioning from external inputs. And I have a bunch of open centers in my body graph. But it's just so funny that the head, if you ask yourself, am I thinking about things that don't matter? If the answer is yes, then that's your not self showing up due to your open head center, which doesn't make a lot of sense maybe, but just focus on that question. Am I thinking about things that don't matter? Like if I ate a hot dog and all and the things that my mind was going into about this hot dog, it was like, well, it was making excuses for why it was a good thing. You're transmuting these animals that had a horrible life, and you're transmuting that energy into love, and like it's making excuses for why it's a good thing, and then the next second it's telling me reasons why I shouldn't, and none of it matters at all that I ate a hot dog an hour ago at this Pinewood Derby. It just is not important. Right? It doesn't matter. Like I could feel, if I wanted to, if I felt the need, I could feel bad about it for a second and then get on with my life with all the things that do matter. Like the fact that I'm driving in the car. That's a lot. And being present in the moment is way more important than this hot dog I ate. It's just, this is the things we do to ourselves that are like, I'm making a video about it, right? I just had to because it's so ridiculous. But we really can get fixated on things that are so stupid. That don't matter at all. It doesn't matter. And maybe you're like, oh, like maybe you are a super vegan and it totally matters to you that I ate a hot dog. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter. If that upsets you, it doesn't matter. It's not important. It's so totally meaningless, right? The mind can be like, oh my God, you're supporting animal cruelty and industrialization of food and all blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that we're being in the moment and doing what we're called to do in the moment. it, and that's it. And all this mind blah garbage is not important. It's so not important. And that's really the message this video is hoping to convey, is that we can spend so much energy on thinking about crap that is not important. You could waste your whole day thinking about things that are totally irrelevant, not important, are not going to move the needle forward for you, are not going to improve the world. Just worrying about something that you did that you judged, or that someone else did that you judged. If you're judging yourself or you're judging someone else, I'll tell you what, it's not important. Let it go. Feel what will bring you love and joy. Feel what that is, and do that, and forget about the rest. Thanks.